Hello, everyone, and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a no communication love reading for Gemini, focused on a connection where communication may currently be limited, paused, or unclear. We'll explore your energy, the energy of the person on your mind, and the emotional dynamic between you, not to fix or chase anyone, but to support your clarity, self-trust, and emotional steadiness. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Geminis, please. All right, so we have the Knight of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. All right. All right, they're viewing you as the Two of Pentacles. Okay, and their future actions or the future outcome here, we have the High Priestess, Cancer, Pisces energy again, and we have the Page of Swords. Okay, so I feel like this is someone here who is planning on communicating with you, but I also feel like they're lacking a little bit of confidence, and they may need to gather more information here, Gemini. This person may be a little bit unsure about committing to this communication or committing to this connection. They may feel like you've already made up your mind in some respects, or that you have other options, like you're on the fence here about them. Okay, so I kind of feel like they're not sure how you feel about them, or they're leaning towards you've already made up your mind that you're either not into this or you're invested elsewhere. So I'm definitely getting a lack of confidence here, Gemini. And with the High Priestess energy, I mean, this could be a secret admirer, someone who's not quite ready to talk until they're more sure. Or it could be somebody here who's just going to continue gathering information. It can also be somebody here who's going to continue keeping secrets. And I do want you to be aware of that, because this Knight of Cups could also be somebody who has other options available to them. All right, Gemini, so let's see. This person is, I feel like this is somebody who's very creative, very romantic, very intuitive. The energy of this connection feels very spiritual in nature. All right. And we see the Emperor energy in reverse, Aries energy. Now, this person may be a little bit my way of the highway, my way or the highway type energy. They could also be someone who's a bit of a player, Gemini, so you do need to keep that in mind. This could also be somebody who's kind of impulsive or quick-tempered, or they're not quite ready to step up is kind of what I'm getting. So they're spying, they're watching, and they're waiting. Now, I know I sound like a broken record here, Gemini, but we are in Mercury retrograde in Pisces. And yes, a lot of times exes come back during that time period, or this time period. But what I'm seeing more so in a lot of these readings is there are a lot of people harboring secret feelings. And because this Mercury is retrograde in Pisces, it's a time for introspection. And it's also a time for a lot of emotions to come to the surface and not so much action. All right, Gemini, our candle went out, so just give me one moment. Okay, so getting back to that, I do feel like this person is not quite sure how to step up, when to step up. And for some of you, if there has been a fight or an argument or a separation, they're watching you closely, but the Emperor in reverse can also be someone who's feeling a bit defensive or still a little bit triggered by what's happened here. All right, so we see the King of Wands. All right, Aries, Leo, Sag. Gemini, I feel like this is somebody who's very sexy, very attractive. Most likely they're successful. I do feel like they get a lot of attention, okay? And so for some of you, this person does kind of give off this non-committal energy, like this energy of I have options. Now, they might be behaving that way as well because they feel like you have other options, or they kind of feel like you've decided already that you're not super into this, or you've decided to put your energy into something else. And somebody like their ego could be a little bit triggered by that if that's what they're feeling. But with the King of Wands here, it tells me this person is very attracted to you. And although they're kind of in this wishy-washy energy, or this kind of, getting with this Emperor and this Knight of Cups energy, like, well, I have other options, if Gemini is with somebody else, or Gemini doesn't want me, or Gemini is going to reject me, or whatever, like, I have other options. It's not going to bother me. But I do feel like it is actually it's bothersome for them. And with the King of Wands, I feel like out of everyone here, Gemini, they want you the most. Because deep down, that's really what they want. But I'm picking up on some insecurities here. And again, this person may be somebody who's non-committal, or somebody here who's a self-proclaimed bachelor or bachelorette. But there's something about you, Gemini, that has really piqued their interest, or has made them want more. All right. Now, they're viewing you as the Two of Pentacles, so they do see that you have other options, or they may feel like you're a little bit on the fence. And I kind of feel like this person's not used to that. I feel like this person's not used to people being on the fence about them. I kind of feel they're used to being chased. They see potential with you, like potential for something solid, stable, and secure. And like I said, maybe they haven't seen or felt that potential with other people. For a lot of you, I do think this is somebody more brand new, possibly secret admirer energy. Like I said, it's been coming through in a lot of the readings. All right, yeah, the Three of Cups. Yeah, they see you get attention. They see you out there dating. They may, whether it's true or not, Gemini, a lot of you, they feel like maybe you've made a decision to move towards somebody else or a third party. But the Three of Cups energy is interesting because I feel like they see you out and about. And like I said, I kind of feel like this person, they want you so bad. And they're not used to being in that position. They're not used to feeling that way. They're used to other people wanting them. And I feel a big part of their ego is like, well, it's not that big of a deal. They may even tell themselves, well, Gemini's not all that, but you are all that to them. All right, Three of Cups. Some of you, they want reunion, but like I said, for a lot of you, it's somebody who's around you, and I don't think they're happy about this third party energy around you. Look at that, the Lovers card, Gemini energy. See, they know you have a choice. They know you have choices, and I feel with other people it doesn't bother them, but with you it bothers them. They want your attention. They want you to want them. They may even want you to chase them. Yeah, you are what they want. The Lovers card, they see you as soulmate energy. They see you as their person. They see you in alignment. They see you happy. They see you going out. They see you, you haven't, if there's been like a fight or breakup or separation here, they see that you haven't dimmed your light, it hasn't slowed you down. Even if it has, right? Like, that's how they're seeing it. And I feel like they're really activated by this. And I feel like, again, they're telling themselves it's not a big deal. Gemini's not all that, but you are to them, right? And you are all that. Don't forget that. But, with the King of Wands, it's like they're so attracted to you. They want you. Now, this person, again, I do feel like they have a lot of ego here. So with the High Priestess, they're going to hold back and gather information. They're going to be like that fly on the wall watching you, seeing what's going on with people around you. I get a little bit of a jealous streak here with this person. The Ace of Cups, they want a new beginning with you. They're overflowing with love and feelings for you. And the Six of Swords, they might be waiting for you to move on from a third party here, Gemini, or they just want to move on with you and have this new beginning, but they're going to be quiet for a little bit. Again, I kind of think they're going to have a little bit of a reckoning here, themselves and their ego, a little bit of a reckoning here. Because I think you've, without even probably knowing it, Gemini, you've activated something in this person that they're not used to, or it hasn't been activated before, and where they've been kind of overly confident, or they're used to being chased. Maybe they've been a little bit in player mode or what have you. You've done something to them. All right. And look at you. You're showing up as the Knight of Cups in reverse. You're giving them a dose of their own medicine, whether you realize it or not. And you may be treating them the way they've kind of always treated other people, and they're not really used to it. And a lot of my Geminis, you don't even realize this is happening, but because you're not chasing them, because you're not sitting there and, blowing smoke up their ass all the time, you're not chasing them. You're doing you, you're happy, you're in alignment, you're investing in yourself, you're going out, you're maybe dating other people, whatever it is, it's making them want you so much more. And, you might not be so sure about investing in this connection because of their attitude, because of what you know about them, because of what's happened between the two of you, or just because this person's ego hasn't let them really show you how much they're into you. So you just assume like, all right, whatever, like we're just friends, or, that person's cute or hot or whatever. But, I don't know, there's probably nothing there. And it's driving them crazy. That's the energy I'm getting. It's driving them crazy. And I feel like they're watching you, they're spying on you, they're checking out your social media. All right, and we have hostilities. Yeah, so this person I do think is fighting an inner battle here with you. Not even with you, Gemini, with themselves. They're not used to feeling this way. I also feel they're a little bit jealous. I feel like they're a little bit activated or triggered here because there are other people around you and you're enjoying it. And you're going out and you're having fun and they want to be your number one. All right. And we see adjacent possibilities. Yep. So they're seeing here that you have a lot of possibilities or options, but I also feel like this person has a lot of options. I feel like they're used to having a lot of options. But now what they want is you, and you're not serving yourself up on a platter to them. You're not making it easy, or you're ignoring them, or you're giving them a dose of their own medicine, and it's driving them up the wall. Gemini, oh my gosh, what have you done to this person? All right, and we see the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. They cannot stay silent for long. The 5th chakra is the throat chakra. So again, they want to be seen. They want to be heard. And I feel like they will be doing that with the Ace of Cups and the 6 of Swords, because this is somebody I don't think they're used to and probably won't stand, especially with that Emperor energy in reverse, and not to say that they won't stand being ignored, but they won't stand for being in this energy for too long. All right, but we see victory energy in reverse, but they're not sure they're going to have victory here with you. And like I said, I think this is somebody who's used to getting what they want when they want it. They're very attractive. And again, Gemini, like you're not giving it to them for whatever reason. You're not giving it to them and you're driving them crazy. All right. And some of you don't even know it. All right, let's see what this person's shadow is. What is this person's shadow? All right, criticizing. Criticizing your partner is driving them away. Focus on their good qualities. Again, this person may have a tendency to be critical, harsh, judgmental. All right, with the Emperor energy in reverse. So we're seeing, this person definitely has that shadow side. Especially if their ego is triggered here. They may become overly critical, but it could also be somebody here who's being very overly critical on themselves at this moment, because they're like, why isn't it working on Gemini, what I normally do? Like, why isn't Gemini giving me the time of day? Why isn't Gemini falling all over me like they should be, like everybody else? All right, Gemini, and we have rushing. You can't hurry, love. The right one is coming in perfect divine timing. Yeah. And again, this person is definitely activated here, Gemini, because they're used to things being easier and happening quicker. And with you, it's just not the case. And yeah. All right. So, and we have too risky. You feel like it's not worth the risk, but opening your heart is a risk worth taking. Yeah. You present a risk to them, Gemini, and total paradigm shift. You present a risk, because with everybody else, it feels like it's been easy, right? With everybody else, it feels like it's been a shoo-in. They knew that they were in control, or they had the final say. That's not the case with you. Oh, Gemini. All right. You have got someone in their feels, turned upside down. All right. Let's see what they would like to say to you. What does this person want to say to my Geminis? I feel like a part of me is missing without you. Yeah. So some of you, this could be somebody you've dealt with, but a lot of my Geminis, this is somebody you see out and about, or it's a friend, and they have started recognizing that when they don't see you when they're supposed to, or at the normal time, so like at the gym or at the dog park, or Saturday night in the place you see them normally, whatever it might be, like they start missing you. They feel this void. All right. And I felt like you didn't care. I certainly get that. I feel this person feels like my Geminis, you don't care, or you're not that into them. And I think their ego isn't used to that, but also because of their strong feelings for you, Gemini, they're just not used to it. All right, let's see. They're used to getting the attention, and you're not giving it to them. All right, let's see. Sorry about the background noise. Let's see what they would like to say to you that they might not be able to articulate. Your beauty still moves me. Yeah. Wildly attracted to you. All right. And how could you still love me after all I've done? So there may be some guilt and remorse if you've had dealings with this person or you've been in a relationship with them. For some of you too, if this person has been a bit of a player and they know they haven't always really treated other people right, there's a little bit of shame coming to the surface here, okay? And they might know that, or they might be worried like, oh, Gemini knows that, how I've treated people in the past, and now I have some shame regarding that. Interesting. So we do get, it's easier to just stay away right now. That's the High Priestess energy. But like I said, it's right now. For a lot of you, it's going to be just during, the next week or so. All right, let's see what else we need to know. What else do we need to know about this person or this connection? What else do my Geminis need to know about this person or this connection? Passion, yep. I did just say they are wildly attracted to you. There's insane chemistry. They're not used to feeling this way. And you like each other equally, having fun. And I also think, Gemini, you probably made this person laugh. You probably really turned this person on with like witty banter, not only just because they're very physically attracted to you, but you probably are, I'm getting some of you maybe I don't want to say you stood up to them, but you may have said something. I don't know if you all understand me with saying like a zinger, like with like quick wit or humor, and maybe even something that, not to say that you put them down, but you may have kind of like put them in their place, or shown them your intelligence, shown them that you weren't going to just agree with everything that they say. Maybe you stood up to them in like a political conversation, or they saw your opinions, but I feel like you did it in a way that was like funny and elegant and made them stop and think, and it turned them on, Gemini. Okay. And we see cassette, so outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over and over in your head. They're replaying your last conversations. They're replaying what you said to them. Again, you are like a tower moment for this person, Gemini. I'm surprised it hasn't come out yet. But you were like a tower moment. I feel they were like, what the hell was that? Right? When they met you, or when you, I don't know. I feel like maybe you maybe made a joke, and they might not be used to being the butt of people's jokes. But again, I don't think you were making fun of them or being rude or something like that. But you kind of said something that they're not used to people treating them that way. Maybe they're used to being the smartest person in the room, right? That type of energy, and boom, here you come. And so there's this outdated thinking, and they're realizing it, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is what I want. It's like this person has gotten too comfortable, and then here comes Gemini, and you've turned their world upside down. Gemini, all right, what have you done to this person? All right, let's see. Your energy, we see reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, and make memories. So you're in a very healthy energy. Now, obviously, some of you, this could be some type of reconciliation, but for a lot of my Geminis, it is somebody new. And you've learned from the past. You're not repeating past mistakes. You're not going to be chasing someone that doesn't want to be caught. You're not going to be chasing someone who's not in alignment with you, that doesn't want the same things. And you're ready to make new memories. And I feel like my Geminis, you're in this really happy, high vibrational energy. And that's why you're probably getting a lot of attention. And you're so highly attractive right now. All right. And we see engagement ring. All right, so we see engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, and union. So that could be the potential outcome here of this connection. But I also feel like, Geminis, you're not up for just just a fling or like a fleeting romance. Now, are you willing to try? Are you willing to give someone a chance? Are you willing to see what's out there? Absolutely. But with this engagement ring energy, I feel like you're looking for something serious. And so you're not going to take someone who's not serious seriously. And this person knows that. All right, we do see kisses, so unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, and falling in love. I think this person is falling in love with you, Gemini. I think you put them in their place in some way, and they are falling in love with you, and you are not chasing them. I love this for you, Gemini. Yeah, because you're next level. You're next level. All right, let's see what are their very next actions towards you. Ace of Wands, they're coming in. They want this new beginning. They've made a decision. They're doing a bit of a review of the past. And I did get that energy of shame coming up because I think this person is now worried. They don't want you to find out about how they've treated people in the past. Now, for some of you, it's how they've treated you. But for a lot of you, I think there's guilt and shame around how they've treated people in the past. And they see that, like, they don't want you to know that, right? They don't want you to see that, maybe they've been kind of an asshole there. All right, Ace of Cups. So I'm reading that as that guilt and shame, but they're making a decision here that they do want to invest. And I do think it's probably happening within the next week or two. The Queen of Pentacles, it feels like you're what they've been waiting for. I think you're the first person in a long time, Gemini, that they feel like they could invest in or that they could see really being with and taking seriously. All right, so let's go to the Quiet Truth Oracle. Clear messages, advice, and guidance. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Geminis, please. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Geminis, please. All right. You're not misreading this, okay? You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. You don't need more information. You don't need any more information here, Gemini. Your inner voice is calm. Listen to that one. All right, and we see that you're stronger than this moment. So if you are kind of anxious or worried about this connection or worried about why you're single or, why you haven't met anybody, you're stronger than this moment. It will pass. And yes, this hasn't found its shape yet. So for a lot of you, this is not a past person. This is somebody new. And this connection hasn't found its shape yet. And you're going to be the one that ultimately decides whether or not it does. All right, my lovely Geminis, I'm going to leave it here, sending you love and light. Take care.